civil unrest was just worse, but it's become not only bad, it became so worse that it affected societies, affected my members as clients, it affected everybody. And that's why we've decided, let us reach out to society and the communities that are being affected. My personal feeling and how do I feel about it, it is sad to see that your businesses go up in flames, that society doing things which they wouldn't have done in any other circumstances. Why did it happen? Up till today, we don't know, we don't have the answers. And SAIPA, South African Institute of Professional Accountants, is unique in its sense that a big percentage of its members are what we call in our terminology SMPs, small medium practitioners. We are not the big audit firms. It is sole practitioners, small practitioners, two people partnerships, and they operate in societies. I believe in this at a local level and an international level, that they service the SME market, and it's the SME sector of the economy. That's the engine room, and it's not capital markets. One of my board members was living in fear. She could see from her office and her house how the mall is going up in flames, what's happening, etc. So it's always been my passion to see the success of SMEs. And when this happened, in these infrastructures, during the civil unrest, I said, let us make a contribution and let us get involved. And how small it is the thought behind it in terms of to make a contribution. SAIPA have always been involved in small contributions to society, to communities. One point of case is regularly have projects going with orphanage home here in Tembisa. And of course the size of the organization, we are not big, but when we make a contribution and we make the contribution to society and communities. So when we decided to put this project up in terms of make the contribution to the affected societies by the civil unrest, it is that we're growing our corporate social investment or corporate social responsibility initiative within SAIPA. So it's not a once-off event, and it's not a reactionary event. It is something that we will sustain over the years. Like my marketing team, we've got a small marketing team, say, okay, what's our next project? We have not identified it as yet, but it's on our agenda. How do we reach out and contribute to society and community? And sometimes if we won't do it on our own, we do it as a collective. We can possibly partner with our members, or we could partner with other stakeholders. But that is important that we maintain that, that we play that role towards society and building this economy in the best interest of everybody in South Africa.
In July 2021, when KZN and Gauteng had the unrest, we as management of SAIPA sat down to look at what can we do to offer support either to the SME sector or to the NPOs that have been hard hit by both the unrest that happened when there was looting in KZN or even the pandemic, because the pandemic has impacted the sector quite drastically. So when we thought about this, we decided that let's rather, because it's not a lot that we have, let's rather use or try and use this amount, the small amount, on the non-profit organizations. We then selected, in fact, we went to the Department of Social Development and said, this is what we are thinking. Can you provide us with names of at least 3 NPOs that are in the less developed areas, which are needy, and obviously that meets the criteria in terms of your own compliance requirements for NGOs and NPOs. So the National Department of Social Development, they referred our request to the KZN Department of Social Development, and they then provided us with a list of the 3 NPOs that we ended up providing support to. The first NPO that I went to deliver the items to was Mgijimi Soup Kitchen that is out in Harding. So when I got to the venue, they have got prefabs where they obviously are doing their projects, and they have got a group of old ladies that are grannies. They are looking after their grandchildren. Grandchildren are either working or they've gone AWOL, and they then are left with the youngsters. The second one that I went to, which we had identified, was Mpumelelo Community Projects. This one is in a place called Mgijimi in Port Shepstone. This is a youth-based project. So they have got there the youth that are heading families. They have got youngsters that have been orphaned through HIV and AIDS in the main, because that is what they indicated, that the area was really stricken by HIV and AIDS, and a lot of parents passed away, which left the child-headed families. So these are the kids that they bring together, and they actually put them into, they feed them. Those that have to go to school, they ensure that they have got exercise books if they're not issued by the schools, and any other necessities, and also try and find from either the students that have finished their schooling years, ask for the shoes, the uniforms, and distribute it to these youngsters that are really looking after families. As South Africans, we usually feel that the government has to do what needs to be done for the country to move forward. Justifiable so, because we are paying our taxes. But on the other hand, one needs to realize that there is something that we as organizations or we as individuals can do to support the initiatives of the government. Even if the government is not doing what it's supposed to do, but as citizens of the country, we have to really take our role in society and do our small bit to actually assist where we can.